So I often have been working with and writing about very dark spaces, which make me quite a difficult person to live with. So not easy for my family during those times. Um, and just then, Penguin approached me saying that they wanted me to do a book in a series which they have called The World's Worst. And you can decide the world's worst what. Um, so I was in that dark space and I thought, okay, this is a great idea. I'm going to do world's worst, but it's not going to be a world's worst horrible thing. So I thought of world's worst genius. And so this is the story of a young boy who has been an average Joe all his life and very happy to be so. He's must. And he and his pal kind of cruise along in the middle of the pack. Neither too bad, not failing, so that his parents are getting, too upset. Not topping that his sister does. His elder sister is the bright one, always coming first. Younger brother, the cute one, is unnoticed, peacefully leading life in the penumbra. And then when he's in standard 8, there's some national survey coming up. And they're all given a surprise test, and it's an IQ test. So he does it, and he finds it really easy. Turns out he's a genius. And his life changes for the worse. And whenever I'm reading this book or talking about this book with kids, and they say, no, because to them it's, if you were a genius, how easy life would be. But not in this kid's case. He really struggles through his life because he's suddenly sort of diagnosed as a genius, and to him it really is an illness. And what happens to all the adults who want to live out their failed fantasies through the genius boy? So he kind of suddenly has the burden of responsibility of other people's fantasies and ambitions being visited upon him, and he's supposed to achieve all these. And it's that struggle, and it's funny, it's light-hearted, and it also engages the kids a lot in, when I'm talking about the book with them, or they've read it and they talk to me about expectations that kids carry, the burden of expectations that they carry. And sometimes when things appear to be the best thing, may not be the best thing. So it's a fun book. I really enjoy it, and I think kids have enjoyed it a lot too. Best pal has a falling out because the best pal feels that he turned out to be a traitor. He let him down because he jumped the ship of the duffer type and went into the bright side. So he feels left behind. And in trying to reassure his friend, he says something like, he said, no, I'm not happy. I know I want to be just like you. And he's saying it very earnestly. But the friend takes so much offense to it, saying, what do you mean like me? Like, you mean like you, so you're calling me stupid just because now, which is not what he's doing. But then like a big fight happens, and he's just left all alone. The elder sister doesn't want anything to do with him because suddenly he's the bright one. He and his younger brother used to gang up and tease the sister, and suddenly it's become the other way around. So the power shifts, and things that he used to, just idiotic things that he'd be doing, like trying to grow fungus in his bathroom soap dish, which his mother would shout and scream at him and wash it out and everything. And now it says, oh no, it's a scientific experiment and we must leave it. And so everybody's following, but there is a sort of aunt and uncle, not actually related, but friends who lead this very alternate lifestyle, have given up IIT jobs and things like that to go off into a village and educate kids in villages, and his sort of coming to terms with his changed status in life. So he starts writing this diary. So actually the diary becomes his best friend. And that's why therefore it's called The Secret Diary of the World's Worst Genius. The idea came, flash like that, as they sometimes, and we're so grateful when it happens, like that in some magical way it comes to you. As did my other book, Wingless, where again I was writing this very dark book, and I did want to write a book on special need and disability, but I wanted to write a light-hearted book, and I thought, you can't write a light-hearted, funny book about disability. The two don't go together. But then Wingless came to me, and magically both those things fitted into one, between the covers of one book. So genius came to me in a flash of genius. It was the resolution which I got stuck with, not being able to reach, so okay, so now his life is going steadily, rapidly downhill, and he's hating it and everything, but suddenly I found that this kid was just really whining and getting on my nerves, and I thought, okay, yeah, enough already, I don't care. And so I had to backpedal that and say, okay, now I have to find somewhere for him to go and something for him to do with it. Because it would be a pity to waste it, right? I can't have left him saying, okay, just throw the genius, whatever, the 180 IQ into the dustbin. That wouldn't be satisfying. In a short story, perhaps I could have left it unresolved, but in a novel, no. Somewhere you have to get somewhere. So that's the bit that I had to work a lot on. Yeah, more or less. The siblings flowed very well. This uncle and aunt and not quite uncle, I mean not related uncle and aunt, I really liked them. I wanted to know them. I wanted to go and meet them. There were some horrible people also who were kind of pushing him. Yeah, I think more or less they did. I loved the friend also, this little Sardar boy who brings aloo roti every day for tiffin, and it's really delicious. And this genius boy gets dried sandwiches and things like that, not very tasty. But suddenly when he's a genius and he wants to share the aloo roti, and his friend won't even touch him, as though it's a contagious disease that he's going to get. I've had a very happy life in the penumbra, academically, very much so. I was never very good in school. I was one of those kids who teachers didn't want to have around in their class. I had a physics teacher who said to me that she never wanted to see my face. So we had 2 doors in our classroom, and she said, when I enter the front door, I want you to exit from the back door. And when I'm exiting, you come in. I don't want to even look at your face, which I was very happy with. It didn't bother me, except when she was teaching everybody how to make pinhole cameras, and I said, please, can I come in? And she said, no. And that was the only time. So I'm a little bit of that character, somewhat. I work with so many kids. I've worked with over 3 lakh children, face to face, and so there's so much, that organically filters into my system and into my psyche, that I think that's what then makes its way to my laptop and to paper.